There's a reason your rearview mirror is smaller than your windshield, because where you're going matters more than where you've been. Yet most people wake up every morning carrying yesterday like a backpack full of bricks. Regret, mistakes, pain, guilt, broken promises, lost chances. The past clings to them like a shadow they can't outrun. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your failures, your heartbreaks, or the worst thing that ever happened to you. And today, right now, you have a choice. Carry the burden, or drop it and rise. Life will always offer you two roads, the one that keeps dragging yesterday into today, and the one that allows you to begin again, lighter, freer, clearer. And the road you choose defines who you become. So ask yourself, how long will you keep reliving what can't be changed? How long will you sacrifice your present to a memory you can't rewrite? When will you finally give yourself permission to breathe without the weight of old wounds? We all fall. We all make decisions we wish we could undo. But carrying those moments forever doesn't make you wiser. It makes you weaker. Wisdom doesn't come from punishment. It comes from learning, growing, and letting go. The mistake happened. The pain happened. But if you're still dragging it through your days, then you're the one choosing to suffer. Yesterday may explain who you were, but it never gets to decide who you can become. Some of the most powerful people on this planet, leaders, creators, visionaries, didn't get there because they had perfect pasts. They got there because they didn't allow their past to chain them. They decided to stop bleeding in silence. They decided to forgive, not for the other person, but for their own peace. They decided that what happened was not the end, but the beginning of a new, stronger chapter. But it starts with you. You must take responsibility, not just for your mistakes, but also for your healing. No one else can carry yesterday for you, and no one else can let it go. This is your weight to drop. This is your freedom to claim. Imagine waking up tomorrow without that heavy emotional fog, without dragging the same old story into a new sunrise. What could you achieve? Who could you become? What kind of peace could you finally feel? The time has come to burn the old script. The time has come to bury the baggage and walk forward, free. You weren't born to relive the same pain on repeat. You were born to evolve, to transform, to rise, but you cannot rise while clutching what's behind you. So this is your moment. Draw the line. Break the cycle. Do not carry yesterday. Not anymore. Not when today is waiting with open arms, filled with new chances, clean slates, and unshakable power. You don't owe your past a lifetime. You owe your future a chance. Part 1. The weight of yesterday. Some burdens don't live on our shoulders. They live in our minds. You can't see them, but you feel them every day. The thoughts that wake you up in the middle of the night. The regrets that whisper when you're alone. The conversations you replay again and again, wishing you said something different. Wishing you'd walked away sooner, or never walked in at all. That is the weight of yesterday, and too many people are quietly collapsing under it. It doesn't matter how strong you are physically. When you carry emotional baggage for too long, it will eventually break you. It will slow your progress. It will cloud your judgment. It will distort how you see the world and yourself. You'll find yourself stuck in moments that no longer exist, trying to fix problems that time is already buried. And worst of all, you'll miss the beauty of now, distracted by the ghosts of then. Think about this. How many opportunities have you already missed because you were too busy overthinking the past? How many relationships did you ruin because you were still holding on to the pain someone else gave you? How much energy have you wasted on things you can't change? The weight of yesterday can look like guilt. It can look like anger. It can look like shame, fear, or even sadness. Sometimes it's subtle, like staying quiet when you want to speak. Sometimes it's loud, like lashing out at people who didn't hurt you. But in all its forms, that weight keeps you from becoming who you're meant to be. And here's the hardest part. Most people don't even realize they're carrying it. They think it's normal to feel exhausted all the time. They think it's normal to be emotionally unavailable, defensive, or afraid of love, of trust, of trying again. But that's not normal. That's not strength. That's survival. And survival is not the same as living. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to stop bleeding over wounds that no longer deserve your pain. It means refusing to let the past define your identity. Yes, it happened. But it doesn't get to be the final chapter. You get to choose what story you write next. The truth is, freedom has a cost. And that cost is letting go of what's heavy, even if it's familiar. Even if you've carried it for years. Even if you've used it to justify your bitterness, your silence, or your fear. You have to be brave enough to say, I'm done. Not because the past didn't matter, but because you do. You are worthy of lightness. You are worthy of peace. But you cannot feel peace while dragging chains made of memory, mistakes, and pain. The weight you carry is not yours to keep. Set it down. Walk forward. Because nothing in your future deserves to suffer because of your past. Part 2. Pain is a teacher, not a prison. Pain has a strange way of shaping us. It enters our lives uninvited, through loss, betrayal, failure, disappointment, and it leaves a mark. But what we do with that pain, that's where the power lies. Most people make the mistake of letting pain define them. They wear it like armor. They use it as a reason to hold back, to build walls, to stop dreaming. They turn it into a prison. But pain was never meant to cage you. It was meant to teach you. Every scar has a story. Every heartbreak carries a lesson. Pain is not proof of weakness. It's evidence that you lived, that you tried, that something mattered deeply to you. And when you learn to see it this way, you stop running from it. You start listening. You start growing. Because the truth is, some of the strongest people you'll ever meet have walked through the darkest valleys. And they didn't come out bitter. They came out wiser. The problem isn't the pain. The problem is holding on to it long after the lesson is over. It's like holding a burning coal in your hand, hoping it will hurt the person who dropped it there. You're only burning yourself. And yet people do it every day. They replay the betrayal. They revisit the failure. They rehearse the rejection. But what if, instead of carrying the pain, you chose to collect the wisdom? What did the experience teach you about yourself? About others? About what you truly value? Pain has a way of showing you what matters. It strips away the surface and exposes the core. It breaks down your illusions so you can rebuild something real. But only if you allow it to teach you. Only if you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a survivor. You see, pain isn't the end of the story. It's the turning point. It's the moment where you decide, will I let this break me, or will I let it build me? You don't have to keep carrying yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's world. You can leave the prison. You can stop being defined by what happened and start being shaped by what you've learned. Because the past can only haunt you if you refuse to grow from it. But the moment you say, I'm ready to learn, not linger, you begin to transform. You can use the pain as fuel. You can let it sharpen your focus, deepen your compassion, and strengthen your resilience. You can take the hurt and turn it into healing, not just for yourself, but for others. Because when you rise from pain, you become living proof that it's possible. Pain is a teacher. Learn the lesson. Leave the prison. Step into the life that's waiting beyond the walls you've outgrown. Part 3. You're not who you were. There is something powerful about realizing that you've changed. That the person who made those mistakes, who tolerated the wrong people, who didn't know their worth, that person is not who you are today. But too often, we let the memory of who we were hold us hostage. We judge our present by our past. We keep apologizing for a version of ourselves that no longer exists. We keep living in guilt for choices we made before we knew better. And that's the tragedy. We forget that growth changes everything. You are not the same person who made those decisions. You are not the same person who allowed pain, or stayed too long, or didn't speak up. That version of you was surviving. That version of you was learning. You don't owe anyone an explanation for growing. And you certainly don't owe the past a lifetime of self-punishment. You've evolved, you've learned. You've hurt, healed, and outgrown things that once defined you. So why keep dragging that old identity into the present? Why keep replaying old stories, old wounds, old doubts, when you have the power to write a new one? The people around you may still try to label you based on who you used to be. They may say, "You've changed," as if that's a bad thing. But here's the truth. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to rise. If people can't see your growth, that's their limitation, not yours. You don't owe the world consistency with your past. You owe yourself alignment with your future. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is forgiving the version of you that didn't know better. You have to look in the mirror and say, "I release you." Release the guilt. Release the shame. Release the judgment. The past version of you did what they could with what they knew. And now you know more. Now you're stronger. Now you're wiser. And now you get to choose differently. Don't let an outdated version of yourself be the narrator of your current life. If you keep reading the same old chapter, you'll never find out how the story was meant to unfold. You must choose to stand in who you are now, with all your strength, your clarity, your growth, and stop apologizing for not being the same. You are not defined by your past. You are defined by how you rise from it. Every day is a new opportunity to show up as the upgraded version of yourself. Don't let yesterday's voice tell today's story. Don't carry an old identity into a new reality. You're not who you were, and that's your power. Part 4. The present is all you truly own. The past is gone. The future isn't promised. The only thing that truly belongs to you is this moment, right now. Yet most people spend their entire lives either chasing what's ahead or grieving what's behind, while completely missing the one thing they can actually control, the present. They carry yesterday on their backs and worry about tomorrow in their minds, while today slips away unnoticed, unlived, and unappreciated. But here's the truth. Your power lives in the present. Every breath you take, every decision you make, every step you choose, that all happens in the now. The present is where change begins. It's where healing starts. It's where strength is built. You cannot fix the past, and you cannot predict the future, but you can choose who you are today. And in that choice lies transformation. We often say things like, "One day I'll be happy," or "When this happens I'll feel better," or "If only I hadn't done that." But the more you delay living, the more life passes you by. You don't need perfect conditions to feel alive. You just need to show up fully where you are. Not distracted, not burdened, just a present, awake, intentional. The reason so many people feel lost isn't because they don't have dreams. It's because they're never fully here. They're always somewhere else. Their mind is in the past, their heart is in the future, but their feet are standing still. You can't build a meaningful life that way. You can't experience peace when your soul is constantly time-traveling. The present is your clean slate. It's your reset button. Every second you're alive is another chance to choose better thoughts, better actions, better habits. But you must be present enough to recognize the opportunity. Because if your head is full of noise, regret, what-ifs, and fear, you'll miss the quiet invitation to begin again. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be here, now. You just need to say, "This moment is mine, and I won't waste it." Because the truth is, no amount of guilt will change the past, and no amount of anxiety will control the future. But the present? The present is where you get to show up and do something, even if it's small. Even if it's just choosing peace over chaos, presence over distraction, or love over fear. Every day, life gives you a brand new page. Stop rewriting yesterday. Stop skipping ahead to tomorrow's story. Write today. Live today. Own it. Because that's all you ever really have. The present isn't just a moment, it's your power, and the more fully you live it, the more unstoppable you become. Part 5. Forgive, release, move forward. There is a moment in every journey where you must decide whether you want to carry the pain or carry the lesson. That moment is called forgiveness, not for others, but for yourself. Because as long as you hold on to resentment, guilt, or shame, you remain emotionally chained to the very thing you're trying to escape. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean excusing what happened. It means saying, I refuse to let this own me anymore. When you forgive, you free yourself. You release the grip the past has on your mind and your energy. You stop bleeding over things that no longer exist. You stop wasting today reliving yesterday. But forgiveness doesn't always come easy, especially when the pain runs deep, or when the person who hurt you was you. That's why the most important forgiveness is the one you give yourself. Maybe you didn't know better. Maybe you stayed too long, gave too much, or walked away too soon. Maybe you didn't speak up, didn't stand up, or didn't act when you had the chance. But that doesn't make you broken. It makes you human. And part of being human is understanding that growth only happens when you allow yourself to move forward, even if you made mistakes. Release doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to stop carrying what's too heavy to hold. It means letting go of people who never deserved a front row seat in your life. It means accepting that not everything needs closure. Not every story needs to end the way you imagined. Some chapters end without warning, without justice, without a clear answer. And you know what? That's okay. Because closure isn't something you find. It's something you create, by choosing to move forward anyway. You must stop waiting for an apology that may never come. Stop hoping time will rewind. Stop holding on to pain just because it's familiar. What happened may not have been your fault, but you're healing. That's your responsibility. No one else can do that for you. No one else can walk that road. This is your journey. And on that road, forgiveness is the gate. Release is the path. Forward is the only direction. When you forgive, you no longer react to the past. You respond to the present. You no longer define yourself by what broke you. You define yourself by how you rose. That's real freedom. That's true power. And it's available to you the moment you decide that what's ahead is worth more than what's behind. So breathe. Let go. Step forward, not because it's easy, but because you finally understand. Nothing from your past deserves to hold you hostage anymore. Forgive, release, move forward, and don't look back. You're not going that way. Part 6. Don't let regret steal your energy. Regret is one of the most powerful thieves of human potential. It sneaks into your mind like a whisper and stays like an echo. You should have done more. You shouldn't have said that. You missed your chance. And before you know it, the energy you need for today is being drained by something that's already gone. Regret does not change the past. It only paralyzes the present. We've all made decisions we wish we could undo. We've all said things we didn't mean, stayed when we should have walked away, or quit when we should have pushed forward. But living in a loop of what-ifs and if-onlys is like trying to drive forward while staring into the rearview mirror. You're guaranteed to crash. Because life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And regret, when left unchecked, becomes a weight that holds you down instead of a lesson that lifts you up. Here's the truth. You can't go back. You can't live yesterday. But what you can do is take back the energy that regret has been stealing from you. That energy is sacred. It's the fuel you need to chase your goals, to build stronger relationships, to become the person you were meant to be. But if you waste that fuel reliving scenes from a movie that's already over, your future never gets written. Regret is tricky. It disguises itself as reflection. It pretends it's helping you grow, but reflection helps you understand. Regret keeps you stuck. Reflection says, I learned something here. Regret says, I'll never get it right. Reflection helps you forgive. Regret chains you to self-blame. That's why it's so important to recognize the difference and choose growth over guilt. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be present. And being present means giving yourself grace. It means understanding that your past self did the best they could with what they knew and what they felt at the time. And even if they got it wrong, even if they failed, even if they lost something meaningful, it was part of your evolution. And evolution never happens without mistakes. Instead of regretting your past, redeem it. Use it to become wiser, bolder, more compassionate. Use it as a reminder to be more intentional today. Because regret is not meant to keep you in pain. It's meant to wake you up. To remind you that time is precious and your energy is powerful, and the only thing worse than making a mistake is letting that mistake steal your joy forever. So stop giving your energy to a moment you can't relive. Stop watering the weeds of yesterday when today has flowers that are ready to bloom. Your life is not behind you, it's here, it's now. It's waiting for you to show up fully, free from regret, and focused on growth. Don't let regret steal one more second. Reclaim your energy. Reclaim your life. Part 7. The Power of a New Day. Every morning you wake up is proof that life hasn't given up on you. So why are you giving up on yourself? The past may have scarred you. Yesterday may have broken your heart. But today is untouched. It is new. It is yours. And that is the power of a new day. It does not ask for your history. It offers you a fresh canvas. What you choose to paint on it, that's up to you. Far too many people drag yesterday into today like a heavy bag they've forgotten how to drop. They wake up already defeated, already tired, already afraid, because they expect today to be just another rerun of the pain they've already lived through. But every sunrise is an invitation to begin again, to rewrite the narrative, to take one more step in a better direction. You don't have to carry the old story into the new day. A new day doesn't care about your failures. It doesn't care about your missed chances or broken relationships. A new day says, try again. It says, let's see what's possible. It gives you another chance to speak kindly, to act boldly, to love fully. It gives you the grace to be more than you were and the space to rise into who you're meant to become. But here's the truth. The power of a new day only works if you honor it. If you treat each day like a clean slate, not a dusty chalkboard filled with regrets. It's easy to become numb to new beginnings when you've been stuck in the same emotions for so long. But just because your feelings are familiar doesn't mean they belong in today's story. You have to train your mind to recognize the gift, because that's what it is. A gift not everyone gets. Another breath, another hour, another shot at life. What you do in these 24 hours could change your life forever. One message, one step, one decision. That's how fast life can shift, if you stop focusing on what you've lost and start building with what you still have. You have strength, you have vision, you have potential that your past can't touch. And most of all, you have now, this day, this moment. So don't waste it repeating the pain of yesterday. Don't spend it trapped in guilt or silence. Use it. Choose to rise. Choose to heal. Choose to act. Your future isn't built in a distant place called someday. It's built right here, in the little choices you make today. The sun came up for a reason. You're alive for a reason. This day is not an accident, it's an opportunity. So open your eyes, open your heart, and take one powerful step toward who you're meant to be. Because every day is a new page, and you still hold the pen. Part 8. Build forward, not backward. There comes a point when you must stop looking at the rubble and start building again. You've stared long enough at the broken pieces of what didn't work, what didn't last, what didn't go the way you hoped. Now is the time to look forward. Because no one builds a strong life by laying bricks in reverse. You cannot construct your future while anchored to your past. It's tempting to keep revisiting what went wrong, hoping that somehow understanding it more deeply will make the pain go away. But there is no healing in overanalyzing. There is no progress in overthinking. At some point, you have to stop replaying the scene and start designing a new one. That's what it means to build forward. Not with bitterness, but with clarity. Not with fear, but with faith. The foundation you lay today will determine the life you live tomorrow. So what are you building? Are you creating something that reflects the pain you've been through, or the strength you've discovered because of it? Are you using your energy to protect old wounds or to shape new possibilities? Because you get to choose, and that choice creates momentum. Building forward means choosing hope when it's easier to give up. It means planting seeds even when you're unsure what the harvest will look like. It means trusting that better is possible, even if you can't yet see it. You don't have to have the full blueprint. You just need to take the next step, lay the next brick, speak the next truth, heal the next layer. And no, it won't always be easy. The past will try to call you back. Doubt will whisper. Fear will visit. But you don't owe the past another moment of your life. You've already survived it. You've already outgrown it. Now is the time to honor your resilience by using it to build something real, something new. Your story is not over. In fact, it's just beginning. But you have to stop writing sequels to a chapter that's already done. You have to stop looking over your shoulder when everything you want is in front of you. The life you're meant to live is not behind you. The love you're meant to receive is not behind you. The purpose you're meant to fulfill is not behind you. So, build forward, with intention, with courage, with the lessons of the past but not the weight of it. Use what you've learned, honor what you felt, but walk boldly into what's next. Because your future isn't something you find, it's something you build, one forward step at a time. Let go, live free, and own your future. The hardest truth to accept is often this: your past does not define you, but only if you let it go. You cannot carry yesterday and expect to step into tomorrow with lightness in your heart and fire in your soul. The memories, mistakes, and moments of pain are chapters that have already been written. You've read them over and over, but now it's time to close the book on yesterday and open the pages of what's possible. Carrying yesterday is like trying to run with a backpack full of stones. Each regret, each grievance, each what if is an added weight, slowing you down and stealing your joy. It's exhausting and unnecessary, and yet so many of us hold on, thinking that if we let go, we'll lose a part of ourselves. But here's the secret. You don't lose yourself by letting go. You find yourself. When you release the grip on the past, you create space for peace, for growth, for hope. You start breathing easier because you're no longer drowning in memories that don't serve you. You become lighter, freer, more open to the beauty of the present and the promise of the future. This is not a weakness. It is the most courageous act you can perform, choosing to rise above the pain and rewrite your story. No one said the journey would be easy. Healing never is. It asks for patience, compassion, and relentless faith. It asks you to face your fears without flinching and to trust that what lies ahead is greater than what's behind. But every step you take away from yesterday's shadow is a victory. Every moment you choose presence over pain is a triumph. And every day you build forward with intention is a testament to your strength. Remember, the past may explain parts of your story, but it does not get to decide your ending. You are the author of your life's next chapters. You hold the pen. You have the power to write a narrative filled with courage, resilience, and endless possibility. Imagine a life where the echoes of old mistakes no longer haunt your thoughts. Imagine waking up each morning without the weight of guilt or regret pressing down on your spirit. Imagine moving forward with a heart unburdened, ready to love, to dream, and to create without hesitation. That life is not just a dream, it can be your reality. But it requires one thing: the willingness to let go. Let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the stories that keep you small. Let go of the fear, the shame, the blame. Let go not because you forget, but because you value your peace more than your pain. Let go because your future deserves all your energy, and your past does not deserve your suffering. You have been given the gift of a new day, a fresh start, and an open road ahead. What you do with this gift is up to you. Will you carry the weight of yesterday, or will you drop it and soar? The choice is yours. The moment is now. Do not carry yesterday. Choose freedom. Choose growth. Choose the life waiting for you beyond the past. Because the strongest, most unstoppable version of you is already waiting on the other side of letting go.